Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this week's episode of Baz and Sunny Real Talk.
Welcome guys, hope you're all well.
Any hand gestures you want to get out of the way?
No, not today.
No, we're all good.
Holding myself back.
Does it feel right? No, I'm just swerve everything. Anyway, this week's episode, we're going to keep it short and sweet. We got some, I suppose we only just thought of this about 5 minutes ago, I think, because we've had an experience today. Yeah, we've had an experience today. But anyway, go on then, what are we talking about?
So today we're going to talk about the people that can make or break your business. And those people are?
Staff. Yeah, the team around you. We just reminiscing. We're just thinking about all the crazy stuff that's happened throughout our business. And this is all stemmed from, we had a couple of interviews and stuff this morning. And
we've been chatting with the lads outside.
Yeah, chatting with the lads outside.
Idea.
And some of the people that actually came for interview.
Chatting about the stuff that they've done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cussing them. They were like, are we going to make this episode? And like, you're going to have to watch it.
Exactly. So we're doing this, we get some more views.
Yeah, cheeky views, yeah, exactly.
We're going to talk about them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But we had a couple of people that came for interview over the last few days. They're just crazy, isn't it?
So basically, we're
weirdos.
Yeah, we're recruiting. That's savage. Hi, if you're watching.
Yeah, you are the weirdo. Yeah.
No, we've had we're recruiting for a couple of roles within our office, and one of the people that came this morning, they travelled all the way from Birmingham City Centre to come here. When I told him on the phone yesterday about the interview, I told him exactly what we're looking for, exactly what we want. I said, make sure you bring your laptop with you so you can show us your work, etc., etc. He came and he didn't have a clue about us as an organisation, didn't have a clue what the salary was, didn't have a clue what...
Well, he turned around and said, didn't he turn around to you and say to you, oh yeah, tell me about the business?
Yeah, so at the end of the interview, we said, have you got any questions for us? First of all, we were just talking, telling him about what we're looking for, and they said, have you got any questions for us? And he said, yeah, tell me about the business, what is it that you do? And I just thought, oh my God, talk about... fail to prepare to fail.
If you haven't even taken 20 minutes out just to research the business and research the people that you're actually going to do, business with or work for, mate,
it's so important.
What a waste of our lives.
So for anyone out there that's looking for a job in any industry, my advice is that as we've been interviewing for so long now, we've been recruiting for however many years, the people that always wow us are the people that come in prepared, the people that have taken the time to look at your socials, look at your website, critically evaluate your business, talk to you about where they can add value and say, right, I love that, however, I know I can make it better by doing this, and talk about what they can bring to the business. Always do your research. We've had far too many interviews.
Yes, on the other hand, we had other people that knew everything about us, knew about our YouTube channel, knew about all the articles that we've been in, the actual business and what they're actually pitching for, and you just leaps and bounds, and you can actually realise, well, this is why this person is what they are, and this is the person is what they are.
Exactly.
So that's preparation is key.
Yeah, that little experience this morning just made us reminisce on, and I'm sure we wanted to talk about this because I'm sure lots of you guys have these struggles as well, and we just wanted to share them with you.
Because the next thing after that was the conversation that we had back when me and Sunny were discussing it and deliberating about it was all about, do we actually really need this person? Can we not do it ourselves? In fact, let's just do it all ourselves. In fact, no, actually, we're already overstretched. Then we're doing this, just talk back and forth with ourselves because we know we need this person, but then obviously we're increasing costs. But then is increasing the cost going to bring you more revenue? And is that going to happen? It's just a vicious cycle in a circle. And then at the same time, we're thinking, bloody hell, we're so overstretched, we're so overtired, overworked. And we think if we don't bring people in, but it has to be at the right time. And then we started talking about all the people that are just basically just done us dirty, and then we just started basically just turning around and saying, what the hell? We've had some right characters. However, when you look at everything, for the whole circle that we've been through, we're still surrounded by a great team now.
Yeah, but nothing is ever promised, nothing is ever guaranteed. People might get frustrated soon, bored soon, want the next thing, but that's just life as a business owner. So if you're out there, you've got a business and you're thinking, right, I need some more time for myself, I need to learn to delegate, I can't do it all, don't ever be afraid to hire, because you are going to have some experiences. But
also don't ever be afraid to fire either.
Exactly, I think that's a key thing. And I was
if you're going to hire and fire.
When we first started, so we'll kick-started by talking about our first ever experience for me.
The shop game?
Oh, for you actually, yeah, the shop game.
So the shop game for me, look, everybody, especially people that are watching this, if you're from any sort of Asian, Indian background, you're definitely going to know someone who's a shopkeeper, and you're also going to know the people that are never there at the family weddings, the parties, the occasions, because they're all out, at the shop, because they won't leave the shop. I've grown up with that background. Literally, my granddad had literally spent years of his life just literally work, shop, and he can't actually fathom it or understand it in his head. We're having a conversation with Mom yesterday, weren't we, actually?
But Mom's really good. She has always had.
No, she had a great balance. But she having the conversation the other day that she was like basically like all he expects is you either have to be at work and you should be at home. If you're not at work, you should be at home. If you're not at home, you should be at work. That's it. There's nothing else around there, which is totally wrong. So when I actually went into the shop world, I was like, well, look, I don't want to be a shopkeeper. I want to be a businessman. So for me, it was a case of, okay, how can we have a balanced lifestyle? How can we make sure that, okay, yeah, you know what, I don't want to be growing up older and not having, you know, dinner with my kids in the evening and having family meals. I don't want to be, you know, not at parties and not enjoying occasions and look back and look with regrets.
Because you were only young when you started the shop game. How old were you?
24.
We just got married, 24, yes.
I'd always grown up with it, so obviously I'd always been there, like, you know, with my parents and stuff throughout the stages.
You only just got married, so obviously you're thinking, okay, I still want to see my wife, I still want to have a life, I don't want to just be like, where are you thinking that? You still want to see your wife have a life?
I don't know, but then I had the best of both worlds where I thought, okay, I could always blag that I'm at the shop, put a bed inside the shop and just go and just chill and go to sleep or something.
You did actually do that. One of the first things he did, I'll never forget that. Oh my God, Maz. He wasn't a bed, but he got a sofa bed set up. I was thinking, why is that the first thing he did? He created a proper nice little office in the back of his shop.
Have a PlayStation and everything.
Everything all set up, and he put this sofa bed there. I was like, what? You don't need that. Yeah, so you clearly.
That was my little getaway. Got one here in this office.
You never did have any.
No, I didn't. But
I think it was nice to know for you. That
yeah, definitely. But you know, you've got to put structure and infrastructure.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, so the bed, so the sofa that we've got in the waiting area.
This one's just if I drink a bit too much Jack Live.
When he bought it was in like obviously did it come in a big box thing and it said sofa bed on the side, and I was like, why have you got that for? And he was like, oh, just, but why? Like, why do you need that?
Just in case.
It's so random.
Always again, prepare to fail to prepare. You never know, you might need it. Anyway, moving on from the shop game. So yeah,
fail to prepare.
Yeah, fail. Prepare to fail, yeah. Yeah, fail to fail, yeah, that's right. Anyway, moving on. So from the shop game, that then took us on to Delightful Desserts. There's some characters there.
No, but you haven't spoken about your issues in the shop game. So you found it hard. You've never ever found it hard to delegate. He loves to delegate. He loves to tell other people what to do whilst he's lying there fast asleep on his sofa bed or whatever it is that he does. So you've never had any issues with it. You got staff in almost straight away, and you just used to only ever oversee.
Only ever oversee.
So he never ever actually put himself on the rota to do a shift, and I was a bit like, whoa, this is madness. Like, obviously you need to do shifts as well. However, you always had bigger plans. You never ever wanted
bigger plans. But the thing is, I think for that, when I first did it, I jumped in too early. So for me, I was like, I wasn't, you know, I did, just delegate straight away, and then that was my learning curve. That actually, hold on a minute here. Then I changed it. Remember when I was doing the 6 to 1 o'clock shift? So I'd go there and open up in the morning, or 5:30. I'd be there opening up all the way up until 1 o'clock, and then then I do my orders, then come back, and then I found that productivity went up. Then I was getting a lot more done. Obviously, it was making a lot more money because obviously I weren't giving out that expense as well. So that was a learning curve for me. That okay.
Oh my God! I just thought
everything about
that guy who. Literally ruined the shop game for us.
Yeah.
We spoke about this.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
So just before we planned to do this, sorry, I probably sounded like a right weirdo then, like, oh my God. But just before we planned to do this conversation, we started talking about all our staff experiences, and when I tell you we've had a lot, but we've only just spoke about it for literally 5 minutes before we started recording, and we just missed out the main one.
Yeah.
The main one.
So I grew at a rapid rate. So I mean, we grew from 1 shop to 10 convenience stores in 3 years. So we're growing exponentially. Everything was going great, moving in the right direction. Need to put infrastructure and stuff in place. But however, along the way, there's one guy that I recruited who I kind of took on as like my right hand man. Took him on, had him driving the vans. I had him really kind of close to us. He's handling cash, handling like lottery tickets and all sorts of stuff. And then
I hope this story doesn't put anyone off ever getting staff, but I think it's important to be aware of the kind of stuff.
Be aware, be vigilant.
Be vigilant,
yeah. Be vigilant,
Everything we always say, whenever we go for an experience, we always say, it's okay, at least we've learnt a lesson. And there have been times when I've said to Baz, I'm sick and tired of learning lessons. I'm sick of it. But you only ever remember those bad things sometimes, and you forget about the good.
That was a rough year for us, man.
It was a very tough
because
of one bad egg.
Yeah.
He literally recruited one bad egg, and he ruined the whole business.
He literally took, we lost 150k in 3 months. It was mental. We were losing money left, right and centre. Not because that money was sitting inside our bank balance, but because stock was having to get dwindled down or things were going missing.
The scratch cards.
Do you remember when he broke into the place on the wedding party?
Yeah. So just tell them.
Yeah, so we had one instant.
You hired him.
Yeah, we hired him, gave him loads of stuff.
The thing that was good about him was because he was a handyman as well, so he used to do lots of handy bits, but then that we found out worked in our detriment.
Yeah, we found out afterwards anyway, cut a long story short, but basically we were at a wedding party. He knew that we were all out at that wedding party, and there'd been a couple of like false alarms that week, like 2 or 3 false alarms. So obviously he knew where the cameras were, knew where the sensors were, single triggers, double triggers, we'd call the police out. But single triggers would only alert me, but then he also knew that I was going to be at the wedding party that weekend. I was at the wedding party, and then he broke in and literally robbed the safe. And then the next morning he's coming to fix the safe.
So next morning Baz called him and I was like, oh man, we got broken in again, will you come and fix it? He was like, yeah, no problem. So he used to break in, cause all the mess, everything, and he used to come back the next day and fix it, yeah. And we didn't clock it until months and months.
And then he did it again where he took about $4,000 that evening.
How much, what year was it, and how often your shops used to get broken in? It was absolutely crazy that year that he was with us, that final year.
Oh,
it was crazy. Like he could, because this guy knew our shops like the back of his hand. He knew where everything was. So we had one shop, for instance, we had a fridge like a back.
I think it was like 2013, 2014.
I was pregnant. And sometimes pregnant. So it's 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
No, 2016. So it's that year, and it was almost like every other night we were getting broken.
I was waiting for the phone calls. I'd already be awake before the phone would ring, before I knew we were getting broken into. I used to make sure the vehicles were reversed onto the drive. I used to make sure that the van was already tooled up. I used to make sure that I think one night, I even went to sleep with my clothes ready on, like a trackie on, so I knew I could get out there rapid.
I used to think, why is this happening?
Literally every night.
If they weren't lifting the shutters to get in and rob all the cigarettes, alcohol, everything, scratch cards, everything used to go, they used to get in otherwise. And I used to say to Baz, how do they know? Like, are people watching us?
Took the tiles off the roof,
did not even
cut into the bottom.
It
was mental. These shops were only 10 minutes from my house, so I was getting there rapid.
Thankfully,
2 in the morning.
So basically, there's one
crazy
story. We had a big fridge in the back of one of our shops, and it was just there. We never used to think anything of it, but whoever used to break in, they always used to go cut the tiles out from the roof, make a hole in that section of the thing, jump onto the roof, jump into the building, but jump onto that fridge, and then get in and then break in that way. But we still didn't clock that. How would someone know that there's a fridge there hidden in the back of the shop? What was the actual deciding thing for us? I think his girlfriend phoned us and told us.
No, one day we caught him with scratch cards. He had shitloads of scratch cards in the trousers, remember?
Oh, was it? I thought his girlfriend phoned you.
And then she rang us and clarified it,
in the garden. She said, just to let you know, don't trust him. Him and his girlfriend must have had an argument. Then his girlfriend called us, told us that he's got bags of scratch cards hidden in the garden, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole thing just pieced together. And then we realised, because Baz had quite a few shops at this point, I think he had 10 stores. He used to do the deliveries. He used to grab stuff from one shop, like, a case of...
Oh, yeah, then we caught him. Then we put a tracker on the van. Then we saw that the van stopped in one place.
Oh, yes. Oh, God.
The van had stopped in one place. And then... randomly just stopping, but then there'd be like chocolates that hadn't arrived, so these cases of dairy milk like 40 quid a pop, and 10 would go missing. They never arrived at the shop, and because I used to do the orders for each of the shops, I went to the shop and I ordered this, they arrived, I remember they got there, but they never ended up in the destination. Then we caught him on the tracker, then we found that one of his mates' cars had come next to him, load up the car, then roll off.
It was just a nightmare. That was on CCTV, and so it was absolute. That year was a nightmare, absolutely. However, what did we do to overcome him? We just become closer with our systems. We just become, because they're all internal shops, we just used to pick stock up and just assume, take it to that shop, Bob Sure, and pull, it's cool, it's fine. We never even used to do like delivery notes to say what was there. So you started putting delivery notes in place, started making sure people were checking off what was going from one store. I mean, it's only like 5 minutes from one store to the other, so you wouldn't think you have to do that, and you think you can trust. And then we went into the business quite naive. All you did, you're thinking everyone's like you, but they're clearly not.
At one point, so then he had been nicking cigarettes from behind the counter. So then, the stock, all the cigarettes are stock controlled, but then yet cigarettes are gone missing. And then we're like, okay, well, how the hell are cigarettes going to go missing? So it's all the staff. But then what happened was I used to charge it and split the cost across all the staff. And then all the staff then would turn around and, split it. But that one person, him, would be better off, wouldn't he? Because obviously they were covering the cost.
I remember that.
And then they all kind of grassed on him and all sorts of stuff.
Feel like
sweat him out. We had to basically sweat him out.
He was a bad egg. And then in the end, I think you actually ended up having a mad argument with him, did you?
Yeah, we had a few words, but let's just say he got dealt with. Anyway, we're on camera here. Let's just say he had a bit of a visit, but that happened.
Absolutely
bad egg. But 150 grand gone, 3 months.
Whatever.
However, it did not break us.
But that's what I'm saying. This kind of stuff could break people.
It was a rough time.
It was very, very.
A lot of people were saying to us we were both proper stressed.
Wasn't in a good place at all. Obviously, we had to close down shops because of him. He literally stole from us, outright stole from us. A horrible position to be in, but whatever. And then we moved on. You just still got to be strong, move on, and think, forget it. I'm not going to let it break me, and carry on. You had a lot of good staff as well. Your one staff member you've had, remember from the one that we still got in Broadway. Yeah. Are you saying people's names?
Oh shit, no, shit, we're not going to bleep. Yeah.
She was amazing.
Stayed with us for years.
Literally,
absolutely,
years.
you know, golden. So it just shows that there'll be great people, there'll be shocking people, but to move on forward. Anyway, next. Business, delightful desserts. We've got so many stories.
Yes, it's unbelievable. To be long. So yeah, delightful desserts. Obviously, a lot of young people wanted to work there. A lot of people that are in college and stuff like that. When I first opened the first store, if you watched the other previous episodes, I've spoke about how that store was my absolute baby. I literally lived in there in the sense that I wanted to do everything. Like I didn't want to delegate absolutely anything. Often when Baz would come in and see what I was doing in there, I'd be washing dishes, and he'd be like, why are you doing that for? Why are you doing this for? Why are you doing? And I'd be like, because I just want to do it. I want to do everything. I used to do the ordering, literally everything to a T. And then one day, I'll never forget, Baz came up to me and was like, look, Sonny, I think you need to start telling other people how to do the ordering now rather than doing it all yourself. How about if you're busy one day, you're not here, you need to start delegating. And I was like, no, I want to do it. I want to do it. I don't trust anyone. I can't put that such a big job on someone else. And he really had to talk me through how to be a manager and like how to manage people rather than trying.
Sonny's always that person, and you know, we both are ultimately where if you need to get your hands dirty, you know, Sonny's like, well, that hasn't been done properly, I'd rather just do it myself. And then one time I'd actually walk into the place, and then the staff would be standing there doing nothing because she's there sweeping and mopping the floor, and she's like heavily pregnant at this point. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, not because I didn't want to tell them what to do, it's just because I just know that I'm doing a better job.
You can do a better job, but then
really, what I should have done is just said, guys, you do it and I'm going to watch how you
exactly.
do it. I just wanted to do everything.
I was like, if you don't train them, if you don't teach them, then how are you ever going to be able to leave?
Yeah.
You've got to think that every time you do a job, this is what I always think, how can I make the system better? How can I simplify it enough so that somebody else can take over the role and I can leave and go and do something else to grow the business? Not just to go and leave and have a jolly, to go off and grow the business, do something else more important. So create it.
How you can add value.
Yeah, create it, gift it over to somebody else. Create it, give it to somebody else. Create it, employ, give it to somebody else. However, then you need to manage it. Then you need to put a manager in to manage that. It's all about building a pyramid. Once you build a pyramid, but make sure you got solid foundations. And we all know that because we've started everything from scratch, it isn't like we just opened a business and employed this director, employed that person, employed this person. We did all the fundamentals, and we currently still do all the fundamentals ourselves, so that if anyone ever did have to get fired, we don't hesitate now. We go with that gut, you're shit, get out, and then we will go back into that role because we've done it before. We're not nervous to do that role. And that's one lot of advice. You can't grow without people. However, don't ever just rely on people to make it seem like you have to keep those people on board. Yeah.
Got to make sure you delegate your roles and make sure you manage them. So yes, we started recruiting different roles. I could give you a million different stories about the people we had in that business and the people that we have now. About the people that have just been a nightmare. We've had people stealing from us right in front of us, people that used to eat, like when they're cleaning plates with half-eaten waffles or crepes or whatever on them, they used to eat their
Remember him?
Remember that?
Oh man.
Food. I was like, what are you doing? Don't do that. People just eat chocolates in front of us, eat whatever, like people that just weren't getting the job. People that just didn't know how to do basic stuff. So even if you're hiring like an 18, 19-year-old, you think they know how to mop up. They genuinely hadn't even lifted a mop up in their life, so they used to leave the floor soaking wet, like you could basically swim on the floor. People didn't know how to empty a bin. They used to take a whole I'll never forget this. Like, certain things just stick in your head, don't they? I told this one lad to empty the bin. It was like I told him to just give me like a bloody dissertation. Like he was that stressed. He was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, yeah, just empty the bin outside. He lifted the whole bin and took it outside rather than just taking the bin bag out and doing. I just couldn't believe it. Like, people just wouldn't know what cup to put certain things in, so I had to literally write things out as if like you're writing stuff out for a baby, like exactly how to do things, what things should be in. But I think it's all just made us grow as a business and know that you're working with different people. But yeah, and then obviously we've tried to grow the business as much as we can. So once I got into, okay, now I understand, I want to develop myself, I want to develop the business, I want to be a manager, I want to manage, I don't want to be just ingrained in the nitty gritty, which I was for the first year, I'll be honest with you. And then after that we tried to develop. We had a really, really, really good member of staff that used to work for us on an evening shift. It was 6 to 11 every night. She had a really great personality, really good with the staff, with the customers. She used to get a lot of regulars come in, mainly just to see her. And I looked at her and I thought, you know what, you're so good. We're growing our business at a rapid rate. I think we must have had about 6 stores at this point. And then I said to her, do you want to come out of the stores and start being an area manager for us? So I just assumed that because she was great in the shop, she'd be great in this area manager role. Boy, was I wrong. And I think that's something that was really stuck with us, and we've learned.
I think, it's really important that, look, you don't try and fit people into boxes
that they don't fit
into. So where we messed up was where we continued to keep on putting her into that box.
She's good at that. She's going to be good at this, but it's a
where we should have took her back and put her back into the role. And I think if we had done that, then probably would have still been with us. However, trying to put us into the role, and then they just started getting complacent. We gifted a company vehicle. We did loads of stuff, and it's just absolutely crazy.
All these perks, she had everything. We were literally giving her everything. We used to meet her once a week, and the way she used to tell us about the business,
and all her family was employed by us, and all sorts.
We used to think we couldn't live without this person. We literally thought, okay, she's like the rock in this business. Because we used to go by what she was telling us. And we really delved into it and called the franchisees and called the different stores. Oh, okay, what's she doing when she going to your store? They were like, nothing, like literally nothing.
And as soon as she felt like that, as soon as she felt like that, she felt like she had her feet under the table. Once her feet were firmly under the table, then she obviously thought that she was irreplaceable. And because the whole family was involved with us and everything like that, we thought they were reliant. It was a big task for us. But then we used to miss her and sat down one day and thought, F this, forget this, we can do all this. We've done it all ourselves. We created everything. Yeah, if I have to start working till 11 o'clock at night again, I'll do that. It's not a problem. Got someone else in, and the show goes on.
Absolutely does. So don't ever be afraid, guys. And I was afraid. I was really afraid. I was having like sleepless nights saying, what we're going to do, but literally nothing changed.
But inside that delightful desserts, we've had some crackers of people, man. We've had people, obviously when things are a certain trend, I don't know, I suppose maybe Asians are the worst for it, Upper are the worst for it, yeah. But you remember that one person that sent their kid to be a mole inside the business? So we caught them, and they're snapping pictures of like all the how to make sheets, where the suppliers are from, all sorts of stuff. They're bin dipping and everything, trying to figure stuff out. And I don't know what the hell is going on here.
How about
this is crazy.
That one we had a girl whose dad sent her to come and work for us, and he came and he actually took all our how to make sheets.
He took the menus,
and then went and opened a store literally around the corner from us. Yeah. And then they called us a few weeks later.
When he went to work, said, "Do you want to buy it?"
I was saying, "Hi, I've opened a dessert shop around the corner. Do you want to buy it?" We were like, "Of course, bloody, I don't want to buy it." We used to get loads of people coming in like that. You could just tell, the people that were coming in to do research, just to undercover ones. God, I forgot about this stuff.
Anyway, but we've got loads of stories about that. But we want to everything desserts.
Oh God, the everything desserts one. I think the key one that sticks in my head. I think we've got some really, really good staff in everything desserts at the moment.
Now we have.
With them, they're good. But the key one that sticks in my head is that guy that basically filled his car.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Tell them that story.
One day, one of our other managers had told us that. He's just literally cleaning in the car park, and he saw the guy's car, one of the driver's cars, full of stock.
I think he was having a cigarette.
He was having a cigarette. The car was just full of stock. And he's like, "What the hell is going on here?"
His car, and it was rammed.
It was rammed full of stock.
But he did that
by chance.
I always think to myself, if we don't get these little tip-offs, would we still not know?
Because obviously we're trusting, and he'd come in the morning, and this is our driver that would stay out till late and come in first thing. And we thought he's that guy, but obviously he's coming in early, filling his car, coming back late, so no one would see him.
He always used to come in.
He had about 2 grand worth of stock in the back of the car.
His front seat was full, all his back seat was full, and his boot was bulging. You could see just from the front of the car.
But it's weird though, because the way that he picked and what he picked was like it was an order for a shop, and then that shop had stopped ordering from us, so they were in on it together. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird. Do you know what I mean? Look, when you look back at it, but we were so busy with growth.
And I was really sad because
thinking about growth.
Nimrod's birthday cake, so I had one of the girls' big, a unicorn cake, and I had that in the freezer, and that was taken. So even took that as well, which really upset me. But yeah, basically we saw that stuff, so we'd waited that whole evening for him to come back. You waited, I think it was until like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
We blocked him in with the car.
Blocked him in with the van.
Stuck it on him.
Yeah, so his van, with our vans, his car was blocked in, so he couldn't come. He came in. Baz and a couple of other people were like, "What's going on?"
Anyway, he had a talking with as well. Yeah, that was it basically.
But he kept refusing to open his boot. He said, "My boot isn't going to open. My boot isn't going to open." But you got to open the boot.
Yeah, but he had a conversation as well. Yeah, but anyway, the next person. What else is there from there?
Also, just being too trusting, assuming that people
very too trusting.
Same level of care.
People have the same level of care. We've had people that have ordered stuff willy-nilly because they're using the business bank card, and half that stuff hasn't even been used for new store opening. It's still sitting there, thousands of pounds worth of stuff because they don't care because it's
when
their
it's your
money.
own money, you want to make sure you're getting the most.
However, we've also got people now that are on our team that are absolutely fantastic, that are looking for the cheapest places to purchase product from. How could, they're ringing existing suppliers, squeezing them on cost. They're really going above and beyond because you can tell that they care about it, because ultimately there's staff and people that you'll employ that will feel like they're owed something, and then the staff and people that will employ because they believe that if they don't work hard, they're not going to have a job, and then you are the people that are feeding them and keeping a roof above their heads, which is how it is. If I was working for someone, I'd give them their all. We always say to everybody now that we employ, you may be here for a week, you may be here for 2 years, you might be here for 10 years. However, while you're here, we want you to enjoy it, we want you to treat you like it's own, and we expect 110%.
And also, have a nice time whilst you're here, develop relationships, have a good time, get to know people, have a laugh, really
enhance yourself,
because you're here for a long time. You're here at work more than you are at home. Why wouldn't you want to try and make the most of it whilst you're at work? And if you're unhappy in your job and you're not having a good time, then you should leave and find something else, because life is too short to be stuck somewhere.
We tell people all the time, look, this is our dream.
Tell my staff, if I'm having a one-to-one with them, I'll be like, are you happy? Are you enjoying it? Because if you're not, go somewhere else. I'm not going to, because when it comes to payday at the end of the month, it's not easy for me to want to pay you, because I don't want to pay you if you don't want to be here. Like, I don't want that. Go away, go and get another job. We're very, very, very open now. The way we talk to our staff, the way we talk to people.
Even the way that we manage them, even with our management styles now, we're very transparent about what's happening within the business. We're very transparent. We're not, I think a lot of people, I've been watching like people in other multi-billion pound organisations about how they act and how they treat their team. We're very transparent. We let people know this is the incomings, these are the outgoings, this is what the expenses are.
This is what you need to do.
This is the reason why this is happening, because ultimately people need to understand that the weight shouldn't just all be on our shoulders, it should be on their shoulders as well. Because ultimately, we are the people at the end of the day that are funding their lifestyle and funding their their stuff and paying them. But ultimately, they've got to have that sense of responsibility. Otherwise, they should not be here. Simple. And that's how we manage our team now. And I think because of that, and because of we created the most fantastic office. If you haven't seen it, go and check out the Jot Life journey. We've got such a fantastic office, and that comes at a privilege and a cost. And if you are going to be here, then eat, sleep and breathe the business until the point that you leave. And then when you leave and you have given the best, then we will give you the best reference. And if you haven't, and if one of the members of staff like we have caught recently was asleep at the desk,
absolutely
asleep, KO, 10 minutes I was watching him, asleep at the desk, then don't expect afterwards trying to bloody, and then he's asleep at the desk, then he's messaging us saying that, trying to do us for unfair dismissal. I was like, you on crack, mate, you were asleep.
Paid 2 weeks gardening.
Oh, garden leave, yeah. Well, I was like, mate, you're asleep, you're in probation period. How the hell is that unfair dismissal?
And then the thing is, he wasn't even apologetic. What
when he left?
Out last night, and then when he left, when we got rid of him, we said, don't want you working here anymore, you lack passion, like can't be doing with it, whatever. He literally took all his work with him, so deleted everything off.
He went on the Google Drive, deleted everything?
I mean, there's only so much. It's just a madness. So yeah, we've had some mad experiences, guys, and you know what, I'm sure we're going to continue to have mad experiences. I think you guys probably, if you're in business as well, you probably, or even if you're not in business, you're going to know people that have done certain things at work just to try and get away with certain things.
I think,
might have even done
I think just to summarise this up now,
it's a madness.
I think it's just to summarise it up, there's 2 points to this. You can either go into business and have a family-run business which can be extremely successful, run that with yourselves, by yourselves, on a daily basis, and create such a fantastic atmosphere, and you will be truly successful within a maximum ceiling. Or if you want to go for the multi-billion pound business, then you're going to have to employ people, trust people, but as we said from the beginning, do not be afraid to hire, and definitely do not be afraid to fire. So that's my little summary. Sonny, what's yours?
So mine would be, obviously, make sure you be prepared to delegate if you want your business to grow. Have trust in your employees. Obviously, there's only so much you can watch of what they're doing. However, put systems in place to manage that. And also, just remember that every business is going to have these experiences. I'm sure if you go out and speak to anyone in business, be it a multi-business entrepreneur or just someone who's just got one small business, they are going to have issues with staff. They are going to face issues throughout the day. It's not even staff, it could literally be anything. However, it's just part of business. They're just all lessons, and lessons are only just going to make you stronger. So all these experiences that we've had, although they're crazy, I mean, we could go and talk about loads of just general experiences that we have. Like, we have loads of normal stuff where I'm saying it's normal, but it's nothing to write home about. Staff coming in late, writing the wrong things on their timesheet so they can get extra money, staff stealing from us, eating food, sitting, pulling up a chair behind tills and just sitting there doing nothing whilst they're drinking our drinks and not paying for them. All of that stuff happens, but the key ones that we pointed out today are the more serious ones, and that kind of stuff can break you. However, but just remember, it's just all part of business. Once it's happened, just try and put things in place so it doesn't happen again. And another thing is, just remember that every single expert out there starts off as a beginner. So don't put pressure on yourself. Don't think that you're going to go through business and not experience these things. Like, it's just life. It's business.
It just goes back to the same age of saying, surround yourself by the people that you want to become. So, if you want to become a millionaire, take advice off people that are millionaires. You want to become billionaires, do the same. You want to become a motivational speaker, go and surround yourself by motivational speakers.
Learn, educate yourself.
So educate yourself.
Don't be afraid of issues. Every business has hiccups. That's why we've called this channel Baz and Sunny Real Talk, because we just keep it real. Only in our
we keep it real. We don't really edit anything. We don't do anything.
Last episode we're there talking about all the great stuff we're doing, all the PR that we're doing, the publications that we're in, the moves that we're making to become this unicorn billionaire business, all this stuff. But nothing happens without hiccups. Nothing happens without these stories. Nothing happens without drama.
Without stress.
Things that keep you up at night. Like, people don't know. Staff don't understand. Like,
this is why we wanted to do this episode from that one, because we didn't want to make it look, it's all rosy, it's all great for them, it's easy for them, or no, it's fucking hard work, and we've gone through a lot of shit to get to where we are, and there's probably a lot more shit to go through until we get to where we want to be. However, we're not scared of it. We break down barriers, we keep moving forward, and hence the reason why we made the net worth, because we want everybody that's in the net worth to be on the same vibrations, to be on the same energy, and we want to surround ourselves by the same like-minded people.
And people that can sit there and say, yeah, that happened to me as well. Oh my God, that's so good to hear. Oh my God, I thought it was just me. Oh my God, it's just it's just good to speak to people that come from that have shared your experiences. Yes. That's all, so you don't feel alone, because being in business can be a very, very lonely place. Hence why we've created this kind of safe space to sit and talk about certain things. Yep. However, our DMs are always open. The comments down below, feel free to fill them up, put questions in there.
Subscribe, share, spread the word. There's so many people that are viewing it in comparison to what are subscribed. So please, guys, spread the word. We're just trying to spread positivity. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content, and if there's anything different you want to see, hit us up in the DMs.
Definitely.
Otherwise, for this week, it's done. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys. Peace.
Bye.